Welcome to today's video where we'll be continuing the Customizing Dripleaf series. So, before we get started on what we're going to add today, I want to make a quick change to what we added last video. So what I want to do is I want to take this command block, which basically killed the Dripleaf entity if it wasn't on the correct block. And I want to pick it up and move it over here to this command chain. So basically what this will do is, before we get the new marker set up when it spawns, it will basically check if it's on the correct block and kill it. That way, if we set this to chain, as you can see, the particle effect that would normally happen if we place this on a Dripleaf will no longer happen. This will basically signal to the player that an entity wasn't placed. So when I was recording the next clip for this video, I thought of a way to make this project more easier to use. So currently, if I place a single marker on each of these Dripleaf, it works fine. There will be 5 markers, and if I run this command to kill all of them, it'll say it kills 5 entities. But if I were to add more than 1, then it will save all of those on there, which isn't good because we only want there to be 1 marker per Dripleaf. So what we can do to fix this is go to this last command block in this chain, and we're going to pick it up, destroy it, and we're going to add a new command block. And what this is going to say is /execute as at e tag equals Dripleaf, tag equals new marker, at s run kill at e tag equals Dripleaf, tag does not equal new marker, distance is less than 1. So we're going to set this to chain, always active, and we're going to place down a new command block right here. And so what this will do is it will have the marker that we just placed on a Dripleaf take priority over markers that are already there, and it will kill the markers that are already there. So if I place a bunch of markers in here, and I run this command to find how many there are, then as you can see there's only 1. I can do this again. So there's always only going to be 1 marker per Dripleaf. So now that we got all that out of the way, we can start with the main point in the video, which was to create the trigger scoreboards used in this series. So basically how trigger scoreboards work is they're similar to how dummy scoreboards work, but they can be changed by the player using the command /trigger and then the scoreboard name. So this can be useful if you don't want to have to type out the long way, which is /scoreboard players set or add, and then the entity, your name. And it can also be used by players that don't have admin privileges. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 4 trigger variables, which are going to be /scoreboard, objectives, add, and let's call this setDripleafFall, and trigger, and we'll also do setDripleafReturn, and as you can see that's too long, so we can just do, maybe we can do setDripleafBack. And then we'll do these same things, but we'll do getDripleafReturn and getDripleafBack. Oh, I did the wrong one. So getDripleafFall, and we're gonna getDripleafBack. And basically how these are gonna work is it's gonna get and set the DripleafFall and back values from the nearest entity that you're at. So say I'm above this Dripleaf and I spawn this entity, it's gonna get and set the values from this one. If I go closer to this one, it can get and set this value. So this is basically how you'll be changing the values in this. So as you can see, if I were to type the command /trigger, nothing pops up. So I can't actually trigger these scoreboard values yet, which is because I haven't actually enabled it for my player yet. So what we can do is we'll set up a command block, and it's gonna say /scoreboard players enable @a, and let's do for now setDripleafFall. We'll set this to repeat, always active. And now if I do the /trigger command, you can see that it works. And every time I trigger this command, it's going to go up by 1. Now I can also do I can also change if I want to add or set the scoreboard value. So say I do set 1000. Now my setDripleafFall value is set to 1000. If I do add 1000, it will set it to 2000. So as you can see, I've removed this command block that we just made. That was just for demonstration purposes. So what we need to do is we need to have this Dripleaf marker store the variables that we give it. So right now, if I were to do /trigger and then DripleafFall or setDripleafFall, and then I did set 10. Technically I can't trigger it because I haven't done anything with it, but currently the marker wouldn't store anything. So what we need to do to fix this is, first things first, we need to pick up this command block. We can destroy it, and we'll need to make 2 new scoreboard variables that the markers will store internally. So let's do /scoreboard objectives add, and let's call this DripleafFall dummy, and we'll do the same thing with DripleafBack. And so now let's place down 2 new command blocks. So in this one we'll type in /scoreboard players set @e tag equals Dripleaf, tag equals new marker, DripleafFall, and let's just do 0. And so we can set this to chain, always active, and we'll set a similar command for the second command block. So do /scoreboard players set @e tag equals Dripleaf, tag equals new marker, and we'll do DripleafBack 0. So this chain always active. Now we can place down this command block. So as you can see, if we go over here and place down a new marker after killing the old ones, and then we do slash scoreboard players list at e tag equals dripleaf limit equals 1. Then, as you can see, it's now storing our 2 new scoreboard values. So the final thing we have to do is link up our trigger objectives to the internal values that the markers will hold. So what we can do is we can place down a new command block, and we'll put slash execute as at a scores equals setDripleafFall equals 0 or higher, and we'll do run tag at s add changeDripleafFall. We'll set that to repeat, always active. So if I do slash scoreboard players set at s setDripleafFall, and let's set it to 10, and I do slash tag at s list, you can see that I now have this changeDripleafFall tag. So now what we can do is we'll add another command block, and we'll do slash execute as at a tag equals changeDripleafFall at s as at e limit equals 1 tag equals dripleaf sort equals nearest at s run scoreboard players operation at s DripleafFall equals at a tag equals, I have to get the tag name, changeDripleafFall. So changeDripleafFall, and let's do limit equals 1 sort equals nearest, and setDripleafFall. We'll set this to chain, always active. And now, as you can see, since I have this changeDripleafFall, if I do slash scoreboard players list at e tag equals dripleaf limit equals 1 sort equals near, so I'm getting the closest dripleaf's tags. As you can see, its DripleafFall tag is 10. So obviously we only want this to happen once when we change the scoreboard values. So what we can do is we can do slash scoreboard players set at a DripleafFall 0. Well, it's actually setDripleafFall. I probably shouldn't have named these such similar names. So let's set this to chain, always active, and we'll add a final command. It will be tag at a tag equals changeDripleafFall remove changeDripleafFall. So that's a chain, always active. And so now if I do slash trigger, if I do slash enable, so slash scoreboard object slash scoreboard players enable @s setDripleafFall. Now I do slash trigger setDripleafFall, and let's do set 15, and I get the closest Dripleaf score. It will be 0 because I almost forgot. It's setting it to 0. It's not enabled. So this is kind of embarrassing, but after a while of debugging, I found out what the problem was with this. And it was that in this command block, I set the setDripleafFall variable to 0 instead of -1. And this command block over here checks if the setDripleafFall is 0 or greater, making this chain run in an infinite loop. And since trigger variables only trigger once, and this sets it back to -1 or 0 at the time, it was only setting the internal variable to the desired number for 1 tick, then setting it back to 0. So now if I do slash scoreboard players enable @s setDripleafFall, and I do slash trigger setDripleafFall set 25, and if I do slash scoreboard players list @a tag equals Dripleaf, limit equals 1, sort equals nearest, as you can see, the DripleafFall displays the correct value, which is 25. So yeah, that was very headache inducing for me, but this command chain is done. So now what we have to do is we basically have to copy this command chain for the setDripleafBack variable. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pick up these 4 command blocks and place them here. And we're just going to do a few changes. So let's change this tag name to changeDripleafBack. We'll change the scoreboard name to setDripleafBack. And see if anything else is changing. We'll set this to changeDripleafBack, setDripleafBack, DripleafBack, changeDripleafBack here, setDripleafBack -1, changeDripleafBack. Now let's test this to see if it works. There's always a risk when copying and pasting commands that you forgot to change something and it doesn't work. So let's test it out. We'll do slash scoreboard players enable @s and setDripleafBack. We'll do slash trigger setDripleafBack set. Let's do 12. Why not? So we can do let's find it. Here it is. And as you can see, the nearest entity is displaying the DripleafBack variable as 12. So there is one final thing we have to do before ending this video, and that is to automatically enable the trigger variables. So as you can see, every time I had to set a value, what I would have to do is type in slash scoreboard players enable @s and then one of these 4 things. So what we can do is we'll place down 4 command blocks, and each one we're going to enable each trigger variable. So we'll do /scoreboard players enable @A getDripleafBack. We'll set this to repeat, always active. Scoreboard players enable @A getDripleafFall. Set that to change. Scoreboard players enable @A setDripleafBack. Set that to chain. And scoreboard players enable @A setDripleafFall. Now every time I want to change value, I can just do /trigger and do setDripleafFall set, and then whatever value I want. I won't have to enable it anymore. So I know I said that last command with automatically enabling the trigger objectives would be the last command of this video, but I also said that we would be setting up all 4 trigger variables, and so far we've only set up 2. Now the last 2, since they're not actually setting the internal variables, they're just returning the internal variables, it'll actually be a lot easier to code them. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a new command block, and inside we'll type /execute as @A scores equals getDripleafFall equals 1 or higher @S as @E tag equals Dripleaf limit equals 1 sort equals nearest run telra @A, and then we're gonna I'd recommend copying this from the video description. So here's the command finished, and it was actually kind of complex, so I had to use an online generator to make it. So I'm going to change this command block to repeat, always active. And now if I go over to this Dripleaf and I do /trigger getDripleafFall, and it'll trigger the value. Now obviously we only want it to trigger once, so we're going to do /scoreboard players set @A getDripleafFall 0. Chain always active. And now every time we trigger this, it will give us the fall ticks. So we can do the same thing for the getDripleafBack trigger by just copying these 2 command blocks like so, and I'll just change up this telra command a little bit. All I have to really do is fall ticks, back ticks, and then I can go over here and change this to getDripleafBack. And I can change this to getDripleafBack. And if I trigger getDripleafBack, it will return 12. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it's a longer one than normal, but as always, like if you liked the video. If you want to see more, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.